Well, I'm here today because I'm being charged under the Terrorism Act with speaking out in support of Palestinian resistance. And that's really what it's about. The terrorism laws are being used as a pretext to clamp down on freedom of speech. And I think we all know that it's got nothing at all to do with terrorism. That is the device that they are using to get people in line with their foreign policy objectives, which are genocide, supporting genocide in Gaza. My view is simple. There's an absolute right of an oppressed people to resist their occupation, and no one can take that away from them. To say the Palestinians don't have the right to resist genocide is an absolutely absurd phenomenon. It's a procedural hearing. Where it goes from here, I do not know. If I was to be found guilty, there's a maximum of 14 years. Right. So we are moving to an authoritarian state. We are sleepwalking into a police state, because if you open your mouth and you say the wrong thing, you will get lifted by the anti-terrorist police. The judges will do their best to see you convicted. We can be assured of that. When I walk into a court, there will be two prosecutors, one on the bench and one below. The Western powers support Israel, come hell or high water. That really is what it's about. So thank you everyone for coming today. It's really great to see so many people, and this has to be the beginning of a much bigger movement. This isn't about me, it's about an attack on the movement. We know that other people like Sarah Wilkinson, Natalie Strecker, Richard Medhurst have also been arrested. It's a complete abuse of anti-terrorism laws. We know what terrorism is. It's Manchester Arena bombing. It's the stabbings at London Bridge. It's the attack, the Bataclan attack in Paris. That is what terrorism is, and terrorism is usually the product of imperialist intervention in the Middle East. Yes. There was no ISIS before the invasion of Iraq. There was no Afghanistan before the US got involved there. So terrorism is something which is a product of MI5, the intelligence services and the state activities. So this is not about terrorism, this is about dissent, the right to protest, and more importantly, the right to oppose imperialism. Because when they proscribe organisations, what they are in essence doing is, you cannot support anti-colonial movements, you cannot support resistance organisations. The idea, for instance, that Hamas, which I don't support politically, doesn't have the right to resist the terrorist occupation of Gaza and the West Bank is an absurdity. What it really means is you're forbidden from opposing imperialism itself, because you're forbidden from supporting the resistance. And the same goes for Turkish Kurdistan. The PKK is also proscribed. So it's a completely unlawful act that they've done, because there is an inalienable international law right to resist occupation. And the right of the Palestinians to resist Israel's occupation is no different from the right of the Viet Cong to oppose Americans' occupation of Vietnam, or the French right to oppose the Nazi occupation of France. They are all the same. So if you prescribe one and not the other, you are making a political choice. And that's why this is a political trial, or it will be a political trial. And of course, the judges will try to rule out defence and say it's the law and so on. My response to that is it's an oppressive law, it's a bad law, it's a law which flies in the face of international law, and more basically, it is a law which undermines the very right to free speech, and without free speech there is no democratic society. If the intention is to silence me, they have another thing coming. I will not be silent. Thank you very much for coming.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Good luck. I'll see you when I come out.
What time does it start?
10:30.
10:30.
Yeah. And it shouldn't go on for more than half an hour, but you never know.
Hello. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go to the meal.